question comes up when we are saying power platform, right? What does that mean? What is the power platform? So if we go in terms of that uh, definition, power platform is a low code solution. Now, what do you mean by the low code solution means, right? That question comes up. Let's say if I'm someone who is working in IT, and if I tell someone that you have to write a code, they were like, okay, do I need to start something writing like a code like we are writing in C sharp, Java, .NET, or any those kind of technology? The answer is no. In Power Platform, you have to write the code, but not too extensively. Okay. So now in Power Platform, Microsoft, they built the tool. They provided some inbuilt functions for us, and using those functions or code, we have to create an application. Okay. Now when we are saying, the question come up, do I need to only use out of box functions? Can I create my own functions? That question comes up, right? So answer is yes. Not in the Canvas app, but in the model driven app. Again, now this Power Platform got divided into some pieces, so we'll come to that. Now if I talk about on the high level, when you go to the any interview, or when someone asks what is Power Platform, the simple answer is it is a low code solution or no code solution which is built by Microsoft. Okay. Now the question comes up, if I am a coder or I am a non-coder, can I learn Power Platform? The answer is whether you are coder, you are non-coder, you can learn the Power Platform. Then what are the prerequisite for learning Power Platform? You don't have any prerequisite. Only the thing is, if you're logically good, if you can connect the logic, you can connect the dots, then this tool is for you. But if someone who is not able to connect the logic, then this tool is not for them. Okay. Because here code is very less, only you have to use the inbuilt functions, and then you have to create the application. Now this is very simple if I talk with respect to any other coding language like Java, .NET, right? If I want to learn the Java, there are a lot of things. There are n number of versions of their Java that you need to learn, and while working you have to implement that, right? In Power Platform, no such thing. Even you don't have to remember all the functions that are there. All the functions are available online. You have to just pick up from there and you have to use in your system. Okay. But where to use that function and how to use that function, that is the thing that you should know. Okay. If someone gives me a problem statement that I have 10,000 records, show me only those records that I have created. Now this is a problem statement someone gave you. Or instead of giving that simple statement, they will say you, can you please create an application that will show me the data which is created by my logged in person. Okay. Now when person A logs in, he will see only his records. When person B logs in, he will see only that particular record that he created, person B created, right? So when this kind of requirement comes up, now you should know which function to use, right? So those kind of things we will teach. We'll not teach you how to use the logic, but we'll teach you how to use the functions, and then you have to use your logic to implement it. If I teach you the filter function, how to write the function, what is the syntax and everything, now when you will go in actual project, or when you will use it in your project or in your work, you should know. If someone gives me a problem statement like this, I want to show only data that is being created by logged in person, I will use the filter function. That's a very straightforward, right? So we'll teach you everything into this, but where to use that you have to implement by your own. Okay. So now again, coming back to the definition, what is Power Platform? Again, that's a very simple one. It is a low code solution or no code solution from Microsoft that enables you to build app, automate your workflow, analyze data, and create apps with minimal programming skill. Okay. If someone who knows the Excel, they can easily learn this Power Platform. Even if you don't know Excel, that is fine, you can learn the Power Platform. I'm not saying that you cannot learn, but if you know Excel codes, if you have used Excel formula, this will be easy for you. Okay. Now going to the next. Now as I said, this Power Platform got broken into pieces. The first part is Power App. Again, this Power Apps, when we are saying Power Apps, it is uh, Power Platform, right? So when we are saying Power Platform, it consists of Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, and AI agents. Now this Power App is also got broken into three different parts. Okay. Model driven app, Canvas app, and Power Pages. Then we have the Power Automate. then we have the Power BI, and then we have the AI agents. So now these AI agents are common for Power Automate and Power BI. When we will create an AI agent, we have to use Power Automate and Power Apps. Now, when we are saying Power Apps, it can be either Canvas app or model driven app. So far, so good. Anyone who left behind or not getting the things, just let me know. When we are saying Power Apps, what does that mean? So Power Apps is a front end technology. So you will build the form to capture the data from your end user. You will create a dashboard to display whatever data being captured to your end user. Okay. So this Power Apps where you will not store the data. This is only front end part where you will write your code or your logic to display and to capture data. Then we have Power Automate. Now Power Automate, it's even the terminology says automate, right? So once your record is created, let's say using Power Apps, I have captured the data. Now what this Power Automate will do, Power Automate will trigger Power Automate flows or emails, automated emails. Let's say if leave request is submitted by some employee, their managers will get auto notified that they will receive an email saying that your XYZ employee has been submitted for leave from so and so date, right? So that is that email part, or sending email, creating reports, or doing any kind of automation can be done using Power Automate. So Power Automate is for the automation. Now to the reporting, right? Let's say I am capturing some financial data. Let's say I'm using Power Apps. I have built an application that is capturing the financial data. Let's say there is an employee who is going on field. Okay, so we want to capture his transactions or expenses. Let's say that person moved from place A to place B from morning 5 to 6, and whatever expenses he have done, let's say for breakfast, lunch, dinner, travel, anything, we want to capture that, right? And then he will select his region and everything, and that if I want to do the visualization, that I will do using Power BI. If I want to create some pie chart like which employee expenses is more, which employee is traveling more, which employee is going more on the on field, and so on. So if you want to that type of visualization, right, in the graph and chart, there we have the Power BI. And then comes AI agents. Now what this AI agent does, so let's say in your organization you are working on some project where you are processing the invoice, right? Okay. So when let's say if I want to do that invoice processing, right? So either I will do it manually or I will automate that process. So let's say I want to automate this process. So what I will do, I will build an AI bot or AI agent that will read the data from invoice and save it back to my database. Okay. Also, there is another example for AI agent is chatbot. Let's say I want to create some kind of chatbot for my organization where my end user will ask the question and bot will reply to that. So I can do that using this AI agent. There are more examples to that. Like I just give you one example for invoice processing, one for chatbot, but you can use for more kind of thing. Okay. Now, before we jump to pieces of Power Platform, anyone have any questions so far? No questions. Let's go ahead. Okay, so as I said, Power Apps. So this Power Apps got divided into three parts: Canvas app, model driven app, and Power Pages. Okay, so Power Apps, a platform for building custom application with minimal coding that we already discussed. App that can be used on the web or mobile device and integrated with Microsoft 365, Dynamic 365, and other services. Okay, so this Power Apps, once I create the Power Apps, I can use it on the browser or I can use it on my mobile phone. Okay, now let's say if I want to use it on my mobile phone, how I can use it? You have to install, there is an application for Power Apps on the Play Store. You have to install that. Then you have to log in with Microsoft 365, sorry, with your Microsoft account. It can be either your personal or your organization level. Mostly we are working on the organization, so we need that organization ID. So once you log in with your organization email ID, so all the Power App that has been shared with you will be visible on your mobile phone. So using that mobile phone, you can respond to your, you can fill your form or you can view your data. Okay. Now there is one use cases we have added here. An HR team can create leave request app where employee can apply for leave and managers can approve it, right? So as we already discussed this part, let me give you another example. So one more example I will give you. So there was a client, okay, that was an Australian client. So they have their manufacturing unit outside the Sydney. Okay, and they have their main office within the Sydney city. So there will be one person who will go on site to the manufacturing site. He will do all the investigation. He will check every pipe, every machines, whether those are working or not. If any machine needs to be replaced, he will take the picture as well. He will come back to the city and then he will create a report for that. Okay. So what they were doing this entire process manually. The person used to go to that site. He carry that bunch of paper. He used to capture entire data. He used to come back to the city, and then he used to prepare that report. Whatever he captured on that bunch of paper, he used to convert that into Word document. Okay. Now this entire process was taking months. So till the time this person submitting the report, a month was passed. The another person already went to for the investigation or inspection. Okay. Now, so what we did, we changed this process. We build a power app, and now this person, he take his tablet, he goes for the inspection, he will check all the parameters, and the moment he submits the data, the manager will receive an email. Okay. He also able to take the picture also. So he used to take the picture, get it attached to the PDF. We are generating the PDF and sending over the email to the manager. So now the manager is receiving this on real time. So if any equipment needs to be changed, they can take decision quickly and they can move it further. Okay. So the time that was taking 1 month, that got reduced to 1 day, or whichever whatever time, that only time now taking is to the travel time. So the moment person complete his inspection and hit on submit button, that data gets submitted and manager get notified with all the whatever data that inspection parameters are there, that got converted to PDF, and that PDF is received by the manager. Okay. So that's one of the example. Now, in the same example, when we are sending the emails, we are using Power Automate flow. Okay. So now, as I said, Power Automate, the name suggests automate. Like you want to automate your process, like sending an email, generating report, or any kind of thing that you want to automate, that you can do in using Power Automate. Okay. Now, again, if you go in the market, there are two versions of Power Automate: Power Automate Cloud and Power Automate Desktop. So those people who are coming from the RPA background, or who want to continue their job as a RPA automation kind of thing, for them Power Automate Desktop is best. Okay. And for other people who are working on Power Apps, building application on the Power Apps, or using SharePoint, Dataverse, they just want to create some report, populate Excel file, generate PDF, or submit the data, trigger emails, trigger approval. For them, Power Automate Cloud is used. In our training, we are only going to use Power Automate Cloud. We will not touch base with Power Automate Desktop. Okay. Because Power Automate Desktop, there is a separate training for that. For that, you can reach out to Anshuman. Okay. He will give you all the details for Power Automate Desktop. Okay. Again, I will say, those people who want to automate, who have worked on RPA kind of thing, for them Power Automate Desktop training will be required. Okay. But if you are going only for as a Power Platform developer, then Power Automate Desktop training is not required. But if you know about it, that is good. Okay. Now coming to Power BI, as I said, this is used for the data visualization. It is kind of analytics tool. It is not mandatory that you should know about this tool, but as a Power Platform developer, it is expected that you know, at least you know this tool. Okay. Because if you are going to a large organization like Wipro, Infosys, they already have their separate team of Power BI developers. Okay. But if you are going to mid-level organization, or some startup base, or a small level organization, mostly they will ask you to perform all the activities. So you should know Power BI. Okay. So in our training, we are going to cover the Power BI as well. So at the end of the training, when you will attend the training, you will know Power Apps, you will know Canvas app, you will know Model Driven app, you will know Power Pages, you will know Power Automate Cloud Flow, you will know Power BI, you will know AI agents. Okay. So we will cover everything in our training. Okay. We will cover Dataverse, to capture the data, to store the data. We'll also touch base with the SharePoint. Now SharePoint is also, like most of the organization, they're using SharePoint as a their intranet site. So most of places you will use SharePoint. Okay, so we will cover the SharePoint as well. 1 or 2 hours of training will be there for the SharePoint. Again, that will be the basic, how to create database, how to connect with Power Apps, and so on. Okay, we will not go into in detail for the SharePoint. We'll touch only top, just higher level. Okay, but for Power Apps, we'll go in deep. Okay, we'll cover everything. Also in Power Apps, we require JavaScript. So as I said, it is low code solution, but it doesn't mean it do not require coding. Again, this coding is required only on the model driven app, not on the Canvas app. Okay. And now if I give you the scenario, if you go in organization and start building app, you will hardly build like if I say in the market, out of 10 projects, 6 to 7 project will be on the Canvas app. There are hardly 2 or 3 projects that will be built using model driven app. Okay, in model driven app you have option to insert a code using JavaScript. Even you can connect with Visual Studio Code and you can write your code. Okay, so that option is also available there, but don't get panicked. Okay, I don't know JavaScript, how can I write? That is not required. To be sure, like if I give you the just a glimpse, JavaScript is not 100% required, but you should know. So whatever part that you should know in the JavaScript, I will teach you. Okay, so we'll cover the JavaScript also. Not basic to advanced, we'll cover only that part which is required for model driven app. Okay, because we have 40 hours only, sorry, 40 hours of training and 10 to 15 hours of project. So total 55 hours. So that duration is already very less to cover all this stuff. So we'll not go in detail for the JavaScript, but yeah, we'll use that. Also, we'll learn the HTML. Okay, how to create tables in like how I can add HTML code in my Power App. That also we will cover. So basic HTML will also required. So we'll cover learn the HTML as well. Okay, so that entire thing will be there. Okay, in the training sessions. So you can go to our website, you can check all the training content and everything. Few content are not there, but we will cover like HTML, JavaScript we have not mentioned, but we will cover that. Okay, okay then. So now what we'll do, we'll quickly build one application using Power Apps just for the demo. Okay, now if you see, this is my Power Apps. Now the question will come, what is the configuration required for my laptop? So if you have 4 GB of RAM and some 512 GB of hard disk, that is sufficient. If you have a laptop that works properly, you are able to access cloud or online websites, you can use Power Apps. Okay, if do I need to install any software? Answer is no. If I'm working on Visual Studio, right, I need to do some installation. If I want to work on .NET, I need to install Visual Studio, Notepad, those kind of thing. But if I want to work on Power Apps, simply open the browser, connect with internet, and type make.powerapps.com. Interface like this will get open where you can create your application. Okay, now we'll go through each and every component in detail during the training, but for the time being I will simply go with one very basic application that we will build a leave application. Okay, so let me open the SharePoint site here. Okay, so let me pick this communication site. Now initial training we do with the SharePoint, but yeah, we'll later we move to our Dataverse and those stuff also. Okay, so don't worry about that. So now this is my SharePoint site. Those who don't know about SharePoint, SharePoint is a again Microsoft provided technology, and this SharePoint is generally like if you talks in the layman language, this is a document management tool where you can manage your document. You can have the document library where you can store your documents. Then you can create a list where you can store the data into rows and column like you are storing in SQL. Okay, and also you can build a website. Okay, that intranet. Okay, so you can like if you go in most of the organization, if you go on the top organization, they are running their intranet. Okay, intranet means their internal websites that is accessible within the organization. they are running on top of SharePoint only. They are using SharePoint to store the data as well. In the backend, all the documents and everything, mostly they are storing on the SharePoint. Okay. Now, one question will come up: what license I need for this? As I said, you need Office 365 license. That like generally organization they provide once you logs in, once you join the organization, they will give you the Outlook, Teams, and everything. That is again part of Office 365 only, and SharePoint also part of that only. So they will generally give you the license for accessing the SharePoint. If you are a developer, they will give you the developer license as well. Okay. For learning purpose, during the training, try if you can create the trial account, because if you come with the trial account, that will give you unlimited options, all the premium connectors. But if you are not able to create that, let me know. We will provide you one account, but with that account you will be only able to use this thing, basic or basic stuff only, not the premium things. Okay. So now let's say, let's take a example here. Let's say my HR came and said, create me a leave request. Okay. So what I will ask my HR, what will be the column? So let's say HR said, I need employee name, employee number, employee department, employee manager. If there is any lead manager, leave start date, leave end date. Uh, then we need leave type, which leave they are taking, whether it's a casual or kind of thing, those leaves. Then we need a business unit. We need the approver action. Like if someone is approving the submitting the leave, the manager should approve or reject it. The manager should be able to add the comments. Okay. Now these are the some requirements that we got from our HR, and then we'll document that requirement. Once the documentation is done, we'll take the sign. Generally, in our organization where I'm working, we are using DocuSign, or in some places we are taking the email confirmation, like, okay, that whatever understanding is there, that this is correct. So it should not happen like I ask you to, let's say, add some another column which is not here, right? So that kind of thing should not happen. So that we are so that's why we are creating a documentation. First is requirement documentation. So all the requirements will get documented to that document. Once the requirement documentation is done, we'll create a high level design document. Okay. Now when we are saying high level design document, that will again contain all your column names, then column types. Let's say employee name, this will be a people picker. Now this your client will not tell you, you have to understand, like this will be connected to Active Directory, where I will pick all the names that are available in my organization, or I will auto populate based on the logged in person. I will not allow the end user to submit on someone behalf. Okay, so the person who logs into the system, their name will get captured automatically. So I will mention that in my design document, that employee name will be auto populate of logged in person. Employee number will be of type number, where we'll capture the employee ID. If we are able to pull the employee ID from Active Directory, we'll again make it as a auto populate. But if we are not able, we'll make it as a end user input field. Then employee department, I will put it as a drop down, because I know there are departments will be drop down. If I do not put this as a drop down, some people will write complete engineering. Someone will type ENG. Someone will type ENGIN, right? So what will happen in that case? If I create a dashboard or Power BI report to check how many, like which department is taking highest number of leaves, will not able to do that, because this values will be different, right? So I will make it as a drop down. Then employee manager, again I will populate the employee manager based on the logged in person. Okay. So that kind of things we can do here. That's our, based on our logic, we can create the high level design document. And once the implementation is done, then we'll create a final design document, that these are the columns we have created, this is our application screenshots and everything, that we can give to our client. Okay. Understood the requirement? So we have to create a leave request where we have the employee name number, employee department, employee manager name, lead manager will not use in current, leave start date and leave end date. Okay. Now if I want to build this application, what I need to do, log into make.powerapps.com. Then you have to go to apps. One more thing, if I go to create, here I am getting an option to start with Copilot. Okay. So if I click on start with Copilot, I can give the instruction. So create a Power Apps connected with SharePoint for leave request. Okay, this is my first command. Second will be I need dashboard to display the data and form to capture the data. Now once I will hit on generate, what system will do, system will create an application for me. Just it will create a structure for me. It will not connect with my SharePoint site. I need to connect with the SharePoint site, but this Copilot will provide me the structure that I can use to build my application. Okay, so during that actual training we'll cover this thing, how to build an application using Copilot. Okay, now what we'll do at this moment, we'll start from the blank. Okay, so we have an option to start with blank canvas. Again, if you see, we are getting an option for if I want to create only for the phone, if I want to create only for tablet, if I want to create a responsive application. So we are going to learn all of this, how to create a tablet size, how to create a responsive, how to create phone level application. We'll cover everything in actual training. Okay, for time being I'm just taking a tablet size. Okay, now if you see, this is my actual studio, this is my development studio. Here I will do the development. Okay, now what my requirement is, I need a dashboard where I can display the leaves applied by the employees, and then I need a screen from where a user can apply for the leave. Okay, so currently I have one screen. Now when we will start the actual training, we'll go through each and every component, what this back button, what this insert button, how to add a data, what this new screen is, what are the themes, what are the background color, what are the background images, there are whatever under properties, under the settings, then property for each and every field will go in details. Okay, so now here what I need to do, I need to connect with my data source first. I need to connect with the SharePoint site where my leave request uh, table is. Okay. So what I need to do, here we have the data tab. I will click on add data, and then I will search for the SharePoint. Now Power Apps support 250 plus different data sources like SharePoint, Dataverse, document merge, docs, Excel, Access, all the things are here. Okay, so it supports up to 256 data sources, different data sources. Now when we are connecting with the data source, if you see this diamond stuff, okay, against any data source, it means this data source will be a premium data source. If I want to build a application which is connecting with a data source with this diamond icon, it means my app will become a premium and I have to buy the premium license. Okay, so all the data sources that are coming with this premium thing, with the premium symbol, those for using them you have to buy a premium license. Okay, now again the SharePoint, there is no diamond icon, so I can use the SharePoint. I will add the connection. Now it will give me the list of websites that are available in my SharePoint. So I will select my website and then I will search for my SharePoint list, that is leave request. Okay, so this is the table where I have created the all the columns are available. Okay, now this got connected, my data source got connected. Now I want to build a dashboard here. So to build a dashboard, we have option to add a gallery or to add a table. Okay, we have both option, table as well as a gallery. Now when to use table, when to use gallery, that will again part of the training only, will go in details. Okay, so here I am just for the demo, I'm using the table to show my record that are there in my system. Okay, so now if you see, once I connected with the table, it is showing all the records that are there in my system. Now if I want to limit this record based on the logged in person, based on the logged in manager, I can do that. So if the manager logs in, he can see all the data for his reportees. If there is a no reportees, then he can see only his record. Okay, so that kind of things we can do here. Now let's say I need another screen where from where I will capture the data. So I will go to new screen. I will add a now there are different types of screens are available. We'll use the blank one, and here we'll add a form. So if I go to insert and say form, I will add a form here and I will connect with my data source. Okay. So system automatically adds the columns, but the column that we are not required, we can remove them. We can do the UI things here. So let's say when I'm submitting the data, right? When I'm submitting for the leave, I don't need this title column. So I will select and remove the title column. I don't want this manager action column right now on while submitting the data. This will required when manager will approve. Okay, so I will remove the manager name. I will remove the approver as well. So what will left with employee name, employee manager, employee department, and business unit. Okay. Now I want to change this employee department into a drop down. Okay. So I will select from here. I will go to employee department column, and from here I will change it to a drop down. Okay. Then we'll put the values. Also, during the training, we'll see how we can fetch the data in a drop down from some other table. How to create dependent drop down, cascaded drop down, all things will be covered. Okay. Now let's say I want to move employee manager next to employee name. So I will simply pick this up, I will drag it, and it got moved. Okay. So now we have the employee name, employee manager, leave start date, leave end date, business unit, employee department. Okay. I have not converted employee business unit to drop down, but we can do that. Okay. Now this employee end date is coming as a single line text because in the backend I have created column in that way. If I created a column of type date, that will come like leave start date. Okay. Now I have added the form. If I go to the preview, that form will not visible. It is saying no item to display because we have to add on the form level. We have the item property, and here we have to write this code defaults and then my data source name and close it. Now if I go to preview, I will be able to see my form. So now I can add the data. Now if I have added the data, there is no button to save or submit it. So I will go here, add a button. So here I am adding a button. I will say, so when the button is clicked, we have on select property. Whenever button is clicked, we'll say submit form and we'll submit our form. This is my form name. Okay. This is my form one. Now from where I got this form one, I got this from here. So if you see on this left hand side, this is my form name that I have put it here. Okay. Right now I have not made any column mandatory here, but we can do the column as mandatory. So whenever you will hit submit button, my data, if there is a mandatory column, data will not get saved. Okay. So once the data is submitted, let's say there is any mandatory column and user filled everything. Once data submission is successful, on success will redirect the user to the dashboard. Okay. Now to redirect, we are going to use navigate function. Okay. So using this navigate function, you can jump between the screen. If I want to go from screen 1 to screen 2, I have to use navigate function. So I will say navigate to screen 1 because currently I'm on screen number 2. This is my screen number 2. If when the data submission is successful, I will go back to screen number 1. Okay. Let me rename this button to submit. Okay. Now let's make this employee name as mandatory column. So how I will make it mandatory? We have the required property. So I will select the required property, and if I want to make it mandatory, I will just simply write here true. Now currently it is not allowing me. It says you cannot edit this field. Okay, if I'm trying to write something, it says cannot edit in read only editor. So how to make it editable? Go to advanced. Here we are getting an option to unlock. So we have to unlock it. Go to here, and now instead of false, I will make it true. Okay, so once I will write true, now this field become mandatory, and if I hit on the submit button, it will throw error employee name is required. Okay. Now let's say I want to pre-populate the logged in person name here. Okay, the logged in person who is submitting the data, I want to pre-populate their name. So we have this default property. Okay, so I will remove this parent dot default and I will say user opening and closing bracket dot full name. Oh, sorry, I have selected the ID. We need here full. Okay, now this will populate. So if you see, it is populating EmergenTeck because I have logged in with that account. Okay, and there is some error coming up here. So let me remove and add the formula again. So that error will be gone. Okay, now how to do error handling, how to track your errors and everything, we'll cover that. There is a monitor tool that helps you to track your error. If there is any error in any code that you are not able to detect here, that you can do using live monitor. Okay, so using monitor we can track. Also we can track how much time this tool is taking to load. If I'm hitting the button, how much time it is taking to submit my data, how much time it is taking to navigate from one screen to another screen, all that thing we can track. Okay, and then let's say if it is taking lot of time, let's say it is taking 30 seconds, then we can track why it is taking 30 seconds also. Okay, so we can do all that actions. Now let's say here on the top I want to add a label. Okay, so I'm just putting a text input here. Let's say here I want to add a label as leave request. Okay, now so I need to do the same on the second screen as well. So I will come and add here also. So that is required, right? Now let's take an example. There if you have 20 screens, right, you will do it manually on each and every screen, right? Instead of doing that, we can create a component. Okay, so let's say I will cut it from here. I will here on the top only next to screens we have the component. I will click on new. It will give me a place to create a new component. Now if you see, the size is 640 by 640. Okay, so I want that because it's a header, I will put it 50 in a height, and width I will make it 1350. That is my app height. Oh, sorry, app width. Okay, now here I will add a label or text input. Let me add a text input here. Now inside the component we cannot add the form. Okay, we can add only label or text or few more things. Okay, we'll cover that also, but we cannot add a form here. Okay, so let's say I will say it as a leave request form. Okay, and I will put it on the center and I will make it as a view only so that user cannot modify that. And let's change the background color. Let's change it to the gray. Okay, now this component got created. I will make it as a header. I will keep it as a header component. Now I will go back to my screen. Let me do little minimize. Now I will go here, insert, and that was the header. So this is my header component. I will add. It got added here. I will go to the second screen. Also here also I will go to insert, and I will search for my component that I have created, custom component. I got added at both the screen. Let's say now my client is saying instead of gray, change it to the green color. So I will go to the component, select the component, and then let's change the background color to, let's change it to the green. Okay, now again I will go back to my screen. If you see, the color got changed to green color. Okay, it got changed for both the screens. If I go screen number one also, this got changed to screen that green color. Okay, now I'm on the dashboard. I want to go to my new form screen. I need to add a button here. So either I can add a button or I can add an icon. So I will say add. So here we have this add icon. So I will add that. And whenever someone is clicking on this add icon, what it should happen, it should take you to the new form screen. So I will say navigate, and I will say screen number 2. Again, we can rename the screens to the relative name. Let's say I can rename the screen number 2 as a new form screen and screen 1 as a dashboard screen. Okay, so when that is done, I can click here. I can come, I can fill my details. Let's say I'm going on leave from today, from 18th. I am not putting the leave end date. I do not have any value in the employee department at this moment, so I cannot select. So let's go here. Let's unlock this also. And now I will just put here some values in the drop down as D1 and D2. Okay. Now if I preview this, now we have the option for the departments and hit submit. This record will get saved and I will be navigated to the dashboard. So if you see, I got the record with the name EmergenTeck, leave start date and employee department. Okay. So this is how quickly you can create an application, right? It is very easy to create an application. If you know the function, you can do or you can build the application in very less time. Okay. But yeah, again, this is very easy application we have seen. When you will go in actual environment, the application will not be this much easy. Okay, you have to use a lot of logics to build actual application. Okay, you will sometime you will come across some such easy requirements, sometime you will come across with some difficult requirements. Okay, but once you know which component where to use, you can build everything very quickly. Okay, so this was the demo. We already running out of time, but yeah, uh, so this was the part of demo that we have covered. We build a simple application within half an hour, I will say, or 15 to 20 minutes only. Okay, if we get some, like, when you're if I spend 1 hour more on this, I will be able to build edit form where manager will take the decision to approve or reject, and I can change the UI, I can play with this. Okay, so like again, depending upon the hours, you can uh, like when you're giving the estimation, you have to think about all the things. Like UI is the major thing here. Okay, you will build application within 2 to 3 hours, but when you will start applying the UI, that takes time. Okay, so this is all about I have from my end. Now the platform is open for the question and answer again. So if you have any question, feel free to go ahead.